our evolution of whales. Okay? So we're on page 22. I know, didn't we start with one? Yeah? Didn't we do the Masonic thread first?
Yeah.
Okay. And we drew it? Good. So our Masonic clade existed 55 years ago, so you should have drawn this on your chart, however you wanted to. It was our extinct land mammal that had whale-like teeth. It had fur and stripes, and we kind of talked about how it looks like a tiger. And it has feet that resemble hooves of a horse and a long snout and tail. Our next one that we'll need to fill out is a Pakicetus. Our Pakicetus existed 50 million years ago. So there's a 5 million year difference between the first one, the Masonic clade, and the Pakicetus. The Masonic clade evolved into a wolf-sized meat eater that ate mostly fish. Fur covered with a head that is becoming whale-shaped with sharp teeth, and had 4 legs, small ears, and a long tail.
Does it say what
Kind of feet? It doesn't tell us exactly, and I can't quite see, but I would say that it's kind of more like paw-like, kind of paw shape. They do kind of look like they're going with that. Yes, yeah.
The orange thing you showed us yesterday sort of looks like a mongoose.
The orange thing?
The animal, the yellowish.
This one?
That. It looks somewhat like a mongoose.
A mongoose? I don't know what a mongoose looks like.
You were teaching me to know.
I don't know what a mongoose looks like. What does it look like? Can you describe
I
it?
bet you would know if you saw it. Like,
Maybe if I saw it.
Honestly, what's it look like? That.
I don't know. I don't know every single animal that's existed on Earth.
Mongooses are so cool.
Sure.
These are terrifying.
So what do we notice about our Pakicetus? What's different? What do you see, Stella?
It has spots.
It has spots. Yep, so we went from having stripes to spots. What else do we notice? Annie?
Well, its tail is like more straight down, and it's like body shape is a little more like
Elongated.
yeah.
Yeah. And it has a really sharp tail. Right?
Yeah.
The one in our book is it like curvy and stuff?
This one's a little curvy. This one, well, the person who drew this is just a rendering. So this is just what they think it might have looked like. Okay? We don't really know. Okay? So they could different hair.
The fur is kind of different. Like before,
Yeah.
the fur went all the way down.
Yeah.
It was just like a little.
Now there's just this little tiny tuft right here. Whereas before on the Masonic clade, it kind of went all the way down. Understand? Hey, what do you see?
Well, from the 2 pictures, it looks like that one's smaller, but it
one?
might just be like
And that's a good question though. What size are they? Well, we're going to find out. We are going to watch a video about the evolution of the whales and these organisms. And it tells you how big they are. Our next one, an Ambulocetus, existed 48 million years ago. It's kind of big, yeah. It lived in both water and land. So if you have a mammal that lives in water and land, what's the term that we learned that describes that? Tyler? Remember? There's a term. It tells you they live in water and land. You read about it? Aaron? A what?
No, it's not.
A mammal, yeah, but there's...
Yeah, but
Sarah? Semi-aquatic. It's semi-aquatic, meaning it lives, some of it's like on land, some in the water. The Ambulocetus actually hears sound through its jaw, which is quite interesting. And so it also has the same sound receiving system that whales do today.
How do they know if it's jaws?
How do they know? Based on like airline fossils or the
If it
skeletal
wasn't alive,
structures.
like people probably like they weren't alive in that time. Or at least they weren't like I don't know, like they were extinct before they could tell that they could know the jaws.
But through analyzing homologous structures, the DNA, they can make hypotheses of what it could have looked like. Okay? It has webbed feet and uses hind legs for underwater kicks. Its head became longer and thinner, resembling a lizard. It has lots of teeth.
I don't want to get.
How does this ambulocetus benefit from having webbed feet? Satan? It can swim in the water. Exactly. If you don't really have webbed feet, it's kind of more difficult to swim. So the ambulocetus sort of had a lizard-shaped face, but it's starting to adapt and have different types of limbs to help it swim through the water. Okay. It was able to survive off the abundant food supply that was in the water, and what whales do too. We then have our Rhodocetus, which lived 46 million years ago. So we went from about 50 million years ago for our last organism, and now we've gone about 4 more million years ahead to 46. It had hind legs, and it had a smaller tail. It had a modified fin at the end, and it was adapted to swimming. So this one is also semi-aquatic. Its forelimbs are now completely fused together as it has front fins and a head similar to an alligator shape. So it's starting to adapt to have like the front fins. What else do we notice about the Rhodocetus? Anything interesting? Jaden, what do you see? Anything interesting? It has sharp teeth, kind of. Danny?
It looks like a dog. Like
It kind of looks like a dog. A little bit, Sam?
I think it looks like a lion because of like the thing over the head-ish.
A lion? It definitely has some different traits and features than the Ambulocetus did.
That one looks
Like
more
they look
like
very
alligator.
different. Over the millions of years, they've been able to adapt and gain new traits. So we should be following along, making sure we're drawing our pictures, showing what our limbs look like. After we had our Rhodocetus, we had our Basilosaurus isis, which is 37 million years ago. This one's kind of starting to look like a whale, right? Its body.
a lot of chins.
I think that's just its skin or the trunk.
It looks like a dolphin.
It kind of looks like a dolphin. Its head is similar to a dolphin in shape. Okay. Its body is long, and now it's kind of starting to get that long tail that we know whales have today that help it swim through the water. Its hind limbs are further reduced and are barely visible. And now you can see it starting to gain some more fins. It looks funny. It does kind of look like a dolphin, huh?
Really fat dolphin.
A dolphin or a whale? Do you think there is a possibility that it might have been able to be a dolphin?
Yes.
Probably, Jaden?
Dolphins aren't fish and neither are whales. Wait, yeah, because their fins made a whale.
Jaden, why did you say yes? You said that it might have been able to be a dolphin instead of a whale. Why?
It looks like one.
Do organisms have the choice of what they evolve into?
No.
No, they don't. We don't get to decide, like, if I have a child, I don't get to decide that that child has blonde hair or that's really, really good at sports. It's all up to what?
The genes.
The genes and
DNA.
DNA and probability, right? There's a possibility that this could have maybe adapted into a dolphin or a whale. And in this case, it did a whale.
Oh wait, I have to write that in.
You gotta write it in here.
Yeah, I have to.
So you can get it from our friend.
I did. It's like it was.
These are our primitive whales, similar to what we have today. These organisms strictly live in the sea. They have nostrils that have moved toward the top of the head to become the blowhole. And the forelimbs are paddle-like flippers, and there are no more hind limbs at all. Okay. So if we look at the difference between the Basilosaurus and the Isis, what do we see is different?
They don't have back limbs.
They don't have back limbs, exactly. They're kind of non-existent now.
Their fins and tails are different. The tail on the other one is more pointed.
Yeah, their tail on this one is really long and kind of pointy at the top. And now the Dorodon, its tail is a lot different. It helps it better for swimming. What about the face?
Looks like
Are the
a
faces
screen.
the same?
No.
Oh my.
How are they different, Tyler?
Well, that one looks more pointed.
This one?
This snout looks more pointed.
This one's a little more elongated compared to the other one. So these are the most similar to the types of whales that we have now. This is a really cool picture if we take a look. This is actually a full skeleton of a Dorodon that scientists have found. They found this one in Egypt, and they were able to uncover it and then place all the bones together like they thought it would look. And then it's displayed now. So they were actually able to find the skeleton or the remains of the Dorodon.
I want to climb in its mouth and actually eat it.
I think the mouth is the coolest part. Because I like all the it's really hard.
I want to climb in it. Oh no.
So by finding the skeletons of the Dorodon, this is some evidence that helps us prove that these organisms existed. Okay? So to kind of get a better idea of how this all works, did you have a question, Laura?
Oh, I was wondering if you could go back to the Dorodon.
Sure. You can go back.
Maybe it'll let you.
I know, it doesn't like me. It had a blowhole. Its hind limbs were absent. It lived in the sea.
It looks like you like.
So we were able to look at pictures of the evolution of whales. And now, to give you like a better understanding of how this occurred, we have an awesome video to show you to kind of give you a clearer understanding.
We should like study platypuses next.
So this video doesn't have sound, but we can take a look at how it occurred. So we started with the Pachycetus, and it kind of goes in like a ladder.
Aw.
So cute.
Isn't that cool?
That looks like.
Is that its eye?
I know.
Looks like my
dog.
It doesn't really use its little legs now. It relies on its tail.
It does kind of look like a dog.
That thing's creepy.
And there's our Dorodon.
It's a Dorodon?
Yeah.
Smaller.
Are whales small?
I mean, like,
Look at
its
the
stomach.
So they like took millions and millions and millions of years and reduced it into 2 little minutes so you could see the evolution of the whales over time.
Wait, can we watch it again?
I have another one for you.
Oh, cool.
Whale video.
Yeah.
Which one have? Wait,
Why does it actually need?
Okay, this one doesn't have sound either, so still listen.
Well, we have to.
is when it cuts in half. So it's pretty funny.
It looks like a dog without a bird.
What did we notice about the background? It changed. There's more water now.
Wait, did that area change, or did it just like?
No, the area changed. That one's 14 feet long. 4 limbs that help for walking. Hind limbs for walking. Still no tail food.
That's adorable. It's like a little frog.
I would not want to be in the water with that animal.
I would.
This one's 10 feet long.
No, that's smaller than the other.
This one can walk and swim, so it's semi-aquatic. Has large hooks and no tail flukes.
This is like really ugly.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be in the water with that one.
Does it eat you? I like to swim.
I wouldn't want to be in the water with that thing.
We got
That thing
deeper
would
in the water.
traumatize me. Yeah, if I ever saw that thing, it'd probably traumatize me. I would stay still. I wasn't here.
So our surrounding is now
Like under the water.
under the water.
Completely. I forget what they're called. They have like resurfaces of the ocean.
Its forelimbs have flippers. It has an elongated trunk now. Reduced hind limbs, so they're about gone. And then this is where our tail flukes starts.
They should turn it into a whale. Just to see what it is. Yeah, they're real. If you wake up, they're real. What are
Just like
real?
sea
Mine.
fights.
No, they're not. These they aren't paper. What? Where these people are in like some paper underwater. No, you can always like Photoshop that.
Or a
This thing like so much.
What they kind of do you think mermaids would
See,
do?
that's the thing. You don't know what could come.
No, they're real. There's like actual videos where people in the submarine and come by and like that.
I want to
Yeah,
go
but it could
submarine.
be like Photoshop.
You guys want
Look at this one. We finally got teeth. And we got nostrils on the top of our skull.
Oh, this is about this.
We didn't learn about this Lanocetus. It wasn't in our worksheet. Uh-huh.
use a lot of silk.
That one is 34 million years ago. So from land, water.
Scary. Definitely really want to be.
So there's our tail fluke of our whales.
Is this a real mermaid? Or I mean whale?
No, it's a
We should actually. We should look it up. Oh my god,
Yeah.
it's so creepy.
Can we look it up?
What's creepy?
The mermaids. They're really
Scary.
It's helping our evolution theory. Yeah. Mermaids, if they're real or not. They are.
So after watching our videos, what did we notice? What surprised you? What was interesting?
Well, both the videos have two different, like,
They had
visual structures.
What?
anything that was really surprising, Rihanna?
Well, I thought it was kind of surprising that it started out with, like, fur. And
Yeah.
then it went to scales. Or, like,
Wait.
Mary, can you say it again? I was distracted.
like, it started out with, like, fur, and then it kind of, it had a lot of fur, and then the cactus cetus
Yeah?
had, like, shorter hair, and then it went to, like, more scaly, and then it was just...
So the fur evolves over time as well, right? It started off with a ton of fur, and now
I thought on whales there's like a whole the air thing was on the back.
the blowhole.
Yeah, like it's on that picture. It's not on the back.
Aren't blowholes about like here?
No, I thought they were like right here.
No, not the head, like right
I thought they were on your head. Tara?
Is that like a foot or like?
Hey, class.
Hey, yes.
Tara's a question or a comment.
Is that like the foot or like the foot they were walking on land with, and then it eventually turned into like a fin they could swim in? Just like over time.
So their limbs started off as like legs where they could walk. And over millions of years, as they adapted and changed their environment, mutations occurred, natural selection occurred, they started to go away. And then they started to have fins. Peyton, what'd you notice?
Well, that there's a lot more like steps to the creature evolving than what I thought there would be.
Good. Because, like the Masonic lid, one day it doesn't decide that it just wants to become an orgon. Right? It takes multiple, or like over time, as an animal adapts and changes, there can become new organisms. Yeah. So there's lots of steps. Lots of steps. Danny?
It was like really weird. I don't know if it was just like the video edit, but like one of the animals, I forgot which one it was, but like its tail like expanded out really weird.
It's like out longer.
Yeah, like a whale's.
And if the tail gets bigger, how is it helpful, Danny?
They can swim.
So like when it like goes down, it goes.
Oh, yeah.
Or they can like get away.
Sam said it.
They can swim fast.
They can swim faster, right? They can swim faster. They can get to
They
places
can like they
quicker.
can either catch their food faster or they can get away from it.
Exactly. Peyton, can they swim deeper with a longer tail? I don't know that. I don't know the answer to that. Does anyone know? Can whales or something swim deeper if they have a longer or bigger tail?
No.
I actually don't know.
No.
I say we find the
Because if they
video
swim,
about
no,
that.
because if they swim deeper, like
Yeah.
since they have that air, if they swim too deep and they need air, even though they can have like whales stay in like the same level for a certain amount of time, but if they swim too deep, then like once they try to go up for air, they would.
I don't know, Peyton. I'd have to find out. Mayhanna.
Well, this is kind of a comment.
Sure.
So, like how it started out with like the horse hooves and then went more to like paws. Didn't horses start out with paws?
Horses were smaller than dogs when they
Yeah,
first
they used to be cats.
What? No, they didn't.
I don't know.
They just like they had like dog paws. They had like dog paws and all that. Like they didn't look like dog paws, but they had like the little things on the side, and they were smaller. And like elephants were also really small. Adorable.
I don't know. I don't know the evolution of the horse. I have
No,
to,
it's
I
like-
have
so
It
interesting.
started out with like paws, so this kind of did like the opposite.
Can we look it up?
when we looked at the evolution of the whales at the beginning, those animals had paws and hooves, right?
Well, it was like hooves and then it evolved into paws.
Mm-hmm. And then they kind of went into webbed feet, and then they kind of started to disappear over time. So every organism adapts and changes differently. They're all not going to change the same. So I don't know if a horse had paws or not. I'd have to do
It did.
research.
Wasn't a deer a hybrid between two animals?
What interests you about the faces? Remember looking at the shapes of our organisms? Their head shape?
More round.
Tara,
They got like longer
they
kind of.
got longer.
They got more crocodile.
Some got crocodile-y, yeah. Some are really long. Some have lots of teeth compared to others. So we know that these occur through adaptations and mutations and natural selection. And we are going to start learning about, or we're actually going to start doing our own project about seeing how one of our own beasts, we get to create a beast, changes over time. Right? We get to draw a cool picture, we get to write a little paper about it. Well, that's going to be our next project. After we kind of review, we get to see the evolution of our own creature. So that'll be really interesting. Does anyone have any other comments or questions or concerns about evolution? Or anything that you're concerned about?
Animals don't come back.
Huh?
I said hopefully those animals don't come back.
Hopefully they don't come back.
It's gonna be like Sharknado. It was really bad.
I had to